A Tokoroa man says the victims of a horror crash north of Taupo were a family with young children that lived next door to him. 3 Tokoroa schools have confirmed its pupils were involved in yesterday's crash, the local primary, intermediate and high school. 7 people died in a people mover and another person died in an SUV in the crash. Our reporter Andrew McRae has been in Tokoroa and filed this report.
The family home down a quiet Tokoroa street is deserted. The blinds are down as they were when the family went away. The family hadn't lived in the house long. A neighbour, Ivan Myers, says the couple and their 7 children, some as young as preschoolers, moved to Tokoroa just a few months ago. The 89-year-old's been in the town for 40 years. He says they were all lovely people, and the woman said she and her partner were planning to get married next month.
Nice people, very nice, very friendly. We often, when we was hanging the washing, or when I walked out to the road to the post box and she was there, we always had a bit of a yep, you know, yeah. And when in the school holidays too, the kids around the place there, you wouldn't think there was kids there, so well behaved. When they told me this morning, I cried.
Mr. Myers says he started to think something might be wrong when he saw the home's curtains were still closed this morning and had been all weekend. He says when he saw 7 children move in, he thought it would be chaos, but it was nothing like that.
You know, and then the kids came outside and there was a little boy there, and that is the one who's in hospital, I think, 9 years. And he was a nice, very, very polite kid, nice kids. And I said to him, I said, do you mow lawns? He said, yes. I might get you to mow my lawn. It can make you a bit of pocket money.
He says the father worked in the dairy industry, but he hadn't spoken to him much. 3 schools in Tokoroa have confirmed their pupils are involved in the crash. The schools are Tokoroa North Primary School, Tokoroa Intermediate and Tokoroa High School. A short joint written statement from them says it's a tragic accident that's affected the whole community.
We can confirm students from our schools have been involved, but we cannot confirm names as they've yet to be released by the police. We're currently putting systems in place to support our staff, our students and their whānau, and this is our priority at this time.
The sole occupant of the second vehicle, an SUV, was a woman who worked for Scouts New Zealand. She'd been at a work-related dinner in Waitomo on Saturday night and was travelling from Hamilton to Taupo to meet with a senior volunteer before heading to Palmerston North. Scouts New Zealand put out a statement earlier today.
We're committed to supporting her family as best we can given the sudden and tragic circumstances. We also extend our support and have offered counselling to our staff and volunteer community, many of whom worked closely with the employee during her long tenure with Scouts.
The Mayor of the South Waikato District, Jenny Shattuck, says the effect of the loss will be widely felt in the small town.
It's such a tragedy, and our community in Tokoroa is a small community, but it's a strong and it's a caring community. So this horrendous tragedy is just awful, and it will affect an awful lot of people in Tokoroa.
The sole survivor of the crash, a 9-year-old boy, is in a stable condition in Waikato Hospital, surrounded by extended whānau. For Checkpoint, ko Andrew McRae.